대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
For the opening prayer, may I call our regional leader in Region 3, Kununobo Sugira.
Let's my prayer. Our most beloved Heavenly Parents and true parents of heaven and earth humankind, thank you, and thank you. Our beloved Heavenly Parents try to do best for total salvation with the heart of parents. Our beloved Heavenly Parents has a sorrow as a parents. We would like to inherit sorrow of Heavenly Parents. We sincerely hope that you will always be with us. This world is full of fallen nature like envy, jealousy, lust, hatred, falsehood, greed, arrogance. These fallen nature are from Satan and evil spirit. As a representative of you, we hope that we can eliminate fallen nature firstly before doing our responsibilities. So we can share hope together with our beloved true parents as one, especially through Rally of Hope Philippines. Our beloved true mother has her limitations physically, even though our beloved true mother cannot see few inches in front of her. True mother can see hope more than anyone else, even though true mother legs are already weak. True mother march forward more than anyone else. True mother mentioned about Joshua and Caleb in Bible as a model of faith. As Joshua and Caleb said in the Bible, if the Lord is pleased with us, He will lead us into that land, or land flowing with milk and honey, and will give it to us. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will swallow them up. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them. We hope that we can become like Joshua and Caleb and shout the 천일국 for substantial foundation so that we can accomplish our responsibility during this time. We can open the way for restoration of the Philippines. We are working together with our beloved true Father, saints and sages, tens of thousands of wise and women, absolute good spirit. So we will mobilize spiritual world through our sincerity. Thanks for today, Hundoke, together with our beloved national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo Diallo. Please guide us starting from to the end. I refer this Queen of Sugiura, Jayamadabat, Centurion, Blessed Family. Aju.
Aju. Let us offer our readings and prayer. Adieu. Let us offer our morning greetings. Good morning, Heavenly Parent and true parents. Good morning to our national leader, and good morning to all our leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters joining in our morning devotion. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning po. Welcome po. We are now in our 8th day of our morning devotion. Thank you po for joining.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning po. So for our Hundok reading, let us welcome our sister Nikki Jerusalem.
Good morning to our most loving heavenly parents and our victorious true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Good morning also to our national leader, to all our leaders all over the Philippines, blessed central families, and all brothers and sisters joining with us. Good morning. Let me read our Hunduki reading for this morning, taken from the book of Mother of Peace, a memoir by Hak Johan Moon, chapter 7. Today's growing pains bring tomorrow's sunshine. Dedicate your youth to exciting goals. Each new generation endures heartache. Sometimes young people compare themselves to others and lament their status. A desire to give up may pop into their heads, and rather than looking within, they may feel like blaming others or the world they live in. The more difficult our situation, however, the more we have to remember our original dream. Especially in our younger years, we face countless temptations, endless concerns, and unbounded desires. The only way to manage this is to have a strong will, and this means having clearly defined objectives. The years of our youth are the best time to dedicate ourselves to exciting goals that make our hearts beat faster. Since our youth is brief, it is important to do this without delay. We don't want to be left in regret. We need to set good goals and know who to partner with to achieve them. If we do not live vigorously and create our own path, we will end up sinking into despair and envy. Some young people complain that adults tell them to work harder without giving them credit for the effort they are already making. Some become pessimistic, feeling that no matter how hard they try, they can't get ahead and that society is at fault. But they need to take an honest look at how much effort they have actually made. Complaint and distress will not get us far. Young people need to follow a virtuous path of sacrifice, service, and love. Youth by Samuel Ullman is one of my favorite poems. I like the passage. Youth is not a time of life, it is a state of mind. With a purpose-driven heart, anyone, regardless of age, can live a fresh life with youthful passion. In August 1987, Yojin Moon, our eldest son, was president of the World Collegiate Association for the Research of Principles, WCARP. In existence since 1966, CARP is a campus organization that promotes principles and raises leaders. In that time of ideological confusion on college campuses, Eugen convened the Fourth World CARP Assembly in West Berlin, Germany, in the midst of thousands of pro-communist agitators who were holding demonstrations near the wall. These agitators knew that CARP was opposed to communism and that 3,000 young people were attending its annual convention in the city. Groups of them protested and created disturbances outside the convention venue. On the last day of the assembly, Eugen spoke to the audience and then declared, "Let us now march to the Berlin Wall. After a 2-hour march, braving threats and disturbances along the route, they arrived at the wall and encountered a large group of communist sympathizers. There, our members claimed the area that was reserved for the rally, pushing these counter-demonstrators away. Energetic rally, Eugen took the stage, spoke with great passion, and then wept as he led the group in prayer at the wall. They finished by singing the Korean song, Our Cherished Hopes Are for Unity. I feel that our members praying and singing together with Eugen that day were the seeds of change. 2 years later, the Berlin Wall came down. The passion of youth transcends borders and breaks down walls. Young people of true passion have the spirit to challenge themselves and the world around them. Many young people today, however, seem to be losing this spirit. Successful cultures train their youth to strengthen and purify their minds and bodies through everything from meditation to martial arts. We should not allow these traditions of training our youth to become relics of the past. We should revive them to create schools in which young men and women can strengthen mind and body and discover their true purpose. Turn passion into purpose, purpose into principles. As my husband and I traveled throughout Korea and the world, we were deeply saddened to see young people buried in a bleak reality, giving up on their dreams and wandering aimlessly without goals. We saw others who were setting lofty goals but could not accomplish them by themselves. Out of concern for this, in 1993, I went on a speaking tour to guide Korean students at more than 40 Korean universities. It was a long and challenging tour that took me to virtually all the universities in Korea. In several instances, students of differing religious or ideological persuasions opposed my coming and sought to turn me away at the gate. But I persevered, and in the end, I spoke at all the universities. On this foundation, my husband and I created the Youth Federation for World Peace, YFWP, in Washington, D.C. in July 1994 with the representatives from 163 countries. People, young and old, idealistic and full of energy, gathered with a heart of love for God, love for people, and love for one's nation. Everyone felt strong resolve to realize true families and manifest good values in their lives. After the inauguration, we headed out into the world with the ambition to set up branches in 160 nations within less than a year. The eager responses we got illustrated the burning aspirations of youth. One of YFWP's signature achievements was to bring together youth from North and South Korea in conferences on the principles of peace as its first steps toward the unification of the Korean Peninsula. YFWP's core messages and activities are now blossoming through organizations such as the recently founded International Association of Youth and Students for Peace, IAYSP, Young Clergy Leadership Conference, YCLC, and Youth and Young Adult Ministry, YAYAM. The Generation Peace Academy, GPA, reaches youth in their gap year between high school and college, as does a Special Task Force, STF. These are service and education programs taking place in the United States, Europe, and Oceania. These streams flow into CARP, which is ever more active, connecting students and professors in college campuses. The goals for all of these programs are to raise up exemplary, loving individuals and families that emphasize purity in love and service to others as an expression of their relationship with God. Keeping one's mind and body healthy, strong, and pure is a lifelong task, and its importance is greatest during our youth. When we are young, we stand at a crossroads. We have to decide whether to take the road that satisfies selfish desires or the road toward a great dream. As we begin the stage of life following childhood, we should be beautiful young men and women, ready to launch ourselves into the world with the courage that comes from having great dreams. Aju.
Let us give a hand to our Heavenly Parent, true parents. Thank you so much to our sister Nikki for that reading. Good morning, everyone. Good morning po.
Morning.
To share her gratitude points, let us welcome our one of the blessed family in Cabanatuan. Let us welcome Ate Flor Alejandro with our virtual applause.
Good morning po. Good morning po from Region 3, specifically sa Cabanatuan City.
Morning, ate.
Morning po.
I would like to share points of appreciation for today's Hindu Care. First, I am grateful to our Heavenly Father. Life is hard and difficult nowadays because of the pandemic. But look at us, we're still alive. We're still healthy. We're still strong. And we're still able to go to work. And we still have the time to witness. Okay, thank you to our Heavenly Father. Next one, I'm grateful to our true parents because they're the one who taught us the reality of the spirit world and the very essence of living for the sake of others. I cannot imagine myself if I were not able to meet the true parents and the principal. Maybe I have that very shallow meaning of the spirit world. And the next one, I am grateful to my spiritual parent. Kung ala sila, I was not able to meet the principal. And I'm lucky enough, I have two spiritual parents. I have my spiritual father. Shout out to my spiritual father, Joey Andaya, for his untiring time and effort during our college days in following us up and inviting me for attending seminars in the center. And to my spiritual mother, I have two spiritual parents. My spiritual mother, Oma Winnie, who is now living in Korea. Shout out to my spiritual mother, Ate Winnie. And I'm grateful to my husband, Kuya Noli, for his unconditional love and excellent technical and electrical skill. Imagine last week, all the village has browned out. We're the only house in the village who has light because he has this technical and electrical skill. Thank you to my husband and to my kids. They're the reason why I become a mother. Without them, I'm not a mother. And to our regional leader, Kuya Kuninobo, mas bata, he's younger than us, but older in heart. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much po, Ate Flor. Let's give our virtual clap to our Ate Flor. Thank you so much for sharing. We have many things to be grateful for. So, for more inspiration and guidance, let us welcome our national leader, Reverend Leo Angelajado, with our virtual applause.
Good morning to our heavenly parents and true parents, and to all our beloved leaders and blessed central families, brothers and sisters. Magandang umaga po. Annyeonghaseyo. Konnichiwa. Good morning po sa inyong lahat. Thank you very much po for Ate Flor, very important points. Just recently we met also when we went to Cabanatuan. So I'm really, really happy to really see our blessed central families are continuously really fighting and really working for God's providence. Thank you very much po. Since I was young, I think already I started to connect in Cabanatuan before I joined our movement because of my uncle. Also, I'm grateful to my spiritual father. And then that's the first center also I started to be connected in Cabanatuan area since when I was in high school. So I'm really grateful that also many from that area until now, they are really doing their best, and many also became leaders from that area in Cabanatuan area. So I'm grateful that also that region we have the first regional leader, the second generation, second generation that became regional leader in our country. I'm really grateful to the couple of Reverend Kuni and also Jayon, of course, with their Jayon's parents who really raised them up, Kuya Wensi and Ate Jassy. Yeah, so maraming salamat po. Yeah, it's true what Ate Flor was saying. Despite these situations that we are facing, we can see how Heavenly Parent and True Parents is with us, protecting us despite the difficulties that this world, our nation is facing. We are really fortunate people that we are, under the embrace of Heavenly Parents and True Parents. And so even True Mother mentioned that during this time, only Heavenly Parents Holy Community is really where hope is. But this hope is not only for us. That's why True Mother started Rally of Hope, right? To really share hope to all people who are losing hope. That's why we are really filled of hope, right? So let's continue to spread to our neighbors, to our brothers and sisters, and to our nation and to the world. Today I will be sharing this topic. Yeah. Yesterday, actually, we were saddened with the sudden passing of our one brother. He graduated from IPLC. Actually, he's very young. I think he's maybe 28 years old. He's not blessed yet. And then he's from Mindanao. Actually, they pioneered carp in Bohol. That is after their Asian Top Gun. They are the first batch of Asian Top Gun in Korea. That was 2015. And then yesterday, suddenly, we were shocked also with his passing because he's still very young. He is not blessed yet. And then, yeah, suddenly he passed away and went to the spiritual world. Yeah, we are also really thinking and really praying deeply. So today, this morning, I would like to share with you this topic, understanding life and death. So this speech was given by Father in Washington, D.C., December 18, 1998, during the Interreligious Federation for World Peace speaking engagement of Father, realizing the interfaith ideal, action beyond dialogue. So I would like to share about this topic today. So our true Father said, we go through life ignorant of when we will die. So each of us goes through life ignorant of when we will die. We do not know that we won't die in a traffic accident. I think some people will die saying, oh, Reverend Moon was right, expressing regret only at that moment. We need to know that we are traveling a very serious path in life. We need to use every second of our life to prepare ourselves for the eternal world. We should be aware that we are standing on such a faithful path. So really, this is our life. We actually do not know when will be the time that our life will be taken away, right? Because it's not up to us. It's up to Heavenly Parent and also the conditions of our ancestors, and then the way also we are living our life. So there are also many factors. Of course, Heavenly Parent wanted us to live our life fully. Originally, if Adam and Eve didn't commit the fall, actually human beings will just transition naturally. After we live our life on earth, we live until we reach our old age, and then when our old age arrives, then naturally we will just transition to the spiritual world. When our physical body already cease to function, naturally human beings will transition. But because of the fall of Adam and Eve, right, and then with all the conditions that was done by our ancestors, so we are not sure of when will be the time that we will be going to the spiritual world. That's why Father is saying we need to know that we are traveling a very serious path in life. So there's no certainty, right? That's why very important to always put in our mind, in our heart, that anytime we might go to the spiritual world. So people are living their life ignorant about this. They just enjoy, do whatever they want, just to make themselves happy, even neglecting their parents, the people around them, especially neglecting what really heavenly parents desire. So because of ignorance of people, then they don't know how to live their life, and then suddenly when they go to the spiritual world, then just regret but cannot do anything anymore. So this is the seriousness of the life we are living in. So Father said, we have to raise our life's value to the value of 1,000 people. When people go to the spirit world, they can be divided into two general types. The first comprises those who live out their natural life in this world, and the second comprises those who experience an untimely death. So there are two kinds, Father said, when we go to the spiritual world. The first one, people naturally live their life because of their old age, they pass on to the spiritual world. But the second one, Father said, those who experience an untimely death. So that's why sometimes we were shocked. Why this person dies? He's very young, right? So Father is explaining here. Father said, among the latter, some die as a result of punishment, and others die in order to pay indemnity for the nation or the world. Suppose God established one person in a central position with the value of 1,000 people. What if God made that one person go the way of death in the place of 1,000 people? So these are very important things we need to understand why people, experience untimely death. So first one, Father said, because of punishment, not only because of our sin, but sins of our ancestors. That's why Father gave us direction, right? Father told us. Actually, Father said, without liberating our ancestors, you cannot live well. You cannot live well. That's why many people, brothers and sisters, they sold all their properties just to liberate their ancestors. Because Father said, you cannot live well if you will not liberate your ancestors. You carry all their burdens. That's why we are lucky. Two parents told us just liberate 430 generations, and then naturally, the next generations after 430 will naturally be liberated. So our responsibility is just 430. So that's why many people die untimely, having this untimely death, because also we carry. This might be punishments because of our ancestors' sins. Or one more thing, Father said, or to pay indemnity for the nation or the world. This is what we call sacrifice. Sacrifice for the nation, for the world. So we could see also the life of the saints and sages, the martyrs in the past who have sacrificed their life for the sake of the nation, for the sake of the world. So these are the two things we need to understand. That's why Father said, if your death is sacrifice for the nation, for the world, then like your value is like, this is like value, your death, it's not only value of one person, but value of like 1,000 people. So like Father, what if Father is asking here, if I put one person in the central position, and then the value of that person is like value of 1,000 people, really sacrifice for the sake of the whole. Right? So these are the two aspects we need to understand why people, have their like untimely death. So this time also we are having this event, and then our brother who have sacrificed also, who have worked and really laid so much foundation in Bohol. I know him very, very well. He graduated from IPLC. And he is very actually able type person. He is very, that's why I'm really, hoping before for him to be blessed. But anyway, really, this is what happened this time. But really, since we will be having our event also, we have to really pray and his sacrifice can be received. and as a condition for the victory of our event, that he could, his sacrifice can be recognized by Heavenly Parent. Of course, I'm really saddened actually because he's still single. He couldn't receive the blessing yet. But, I'm just really grateful with true parents because they have, made all solutions actually. So I'm thinking I'm checking how to do. There will be liberation in Korea. So I need to maybe ask our sisters, Filipino families in Korea, to please apply for the liberation of our brother. And then later on, he can be blessed. That's why really true parents solve all these problems now. Even these things are happening, but because of true parents, all these things has solution already. So now this time we pray that his passing and his sacrifice can be a condition for the success of our event. We have to connect to heaven, to heavenly parent, right? So that's why it's very important for us to understand these things. That's why true parents is telling us we need to liberate our ancestors no matter what. This is actually really, really, really important. And then true parents actually gave us the opportunity to liberate as fast as we can. Through, when the Chonbu province have started, true parents before, you can only do, of course, you can liberate up to 210 generations. But to bless them, like per 7 generation. But because of the Chonbu providence, even you can liberate until 430 straight, and then even you can bless your ancestors straight from 1 to 430. This is the grace given by true parents. But now, after this grace period, it will go back. So when I computed, in order for you to complete your 430 generations, you need 15 years to complete it. If you miss this grace coming from true parents. Now I realize why true parents is telling us, you need to liberate your ancestors. Actually, in the Philippines, we are lucky because the donation required for us is, very small compared to many nations. When you compare our situation to Japan, really, Japanese cannot imagine millions of, donation in order for them to complete 430 generations. That's why, brothers and sisters, this is really, really important in our life. Even how much we try to do and sacrifice our life here without liberating our ancestors, there are many uncertainties that can happen in our life. That's why we need to understand, right? We need to understand. We have to liberate our ancestors. Yeah, so going back here, so Father said, we have to really live our life having like the value of 1,000 people, Father said. That's why, just giving everything that we can. So, if really we need to sacrifice for the sake of the whole, then we have to face it strongly and really be ready to sacrifice for the cause of the whole, right? Father's saying, this is very important. Our value become the value of 1,000 people. So Father said, yeah, we have to raise our life's value to the value of 1,000 people. So in such an instance, Father said, the grace and virtue of the one who died in their place would move the hearts of the 1,000 people. They would determine to live for the benefit of that person, model their lives after that person, and live as he lived. If they did this, the 1,000 people would enter the same realm of grace as the one who died for them. The reason we try to follow the philosophy of patriots and model our lives after wise men is that we desire to enter the same realm of grace as these people. So what is really good, when these people who, especially the saints and sages in the past who have sacrificed their life, and then actually our beloved true Father, we want to model, our life. We want to follow exactly true Father's life, right? Because of, the sacrifice that true parents have done. Their value is even more than the value of 1,000 people. Their value is the value of entire humanity. We cannot compare. So all of us were moved with the life of our true parents, our true Father. His life of 93 years, right? And then from the moment he received his mission when he was 15 years old. So that's why all of us now, we are determined to live, this kind of life. We want to model. We want to follow the model life of our beloved true Father, our true parents. This is the value if we, really sacrifice for the sake of the whole. for the sake of the many, right? That's why even like for the sake of 1,000 people, Father said, so once you move the hearts of these 1,000 people. So that's why all people who understand and know the life of true parents, all of us were really moved. That's why we are here, right? That's why if only all people will going to know true parents' life. That's why now through true parents' autobiography, that's why we have to use this for witnessing. We have to let all the people know about true parents' life, how amazing the life of true parents, sacrificing their life for the sake of Heavenly Parent, for the sake of the whole, for the sake of the whole world, for the sake of all people. Then naturally, all of us, the generations to come, will going to model their life after the life of true parents. Now, people, who are also doing their best this time, outside people who didn't know true parents, but they know like Mother Teresa, they know like Gandhi, they know Martin Luther. Actually, they pattern their life after them. How much more if they were going to know true parents' life? Can you imagine how many people will be moved? All the people of the world, right? That's why really we have true parents as our model. And then also sometimes it's very difficult to reach true parents. That's why tayo, we are in the middle position. As we pattern our life to true parents, then we create a bridge for other people to connect to true parents through us. That's why our life also needs to emulate completely true parents' life. That's why we shouldn't just thinking about our own life, our own self, about our own family. We have to think that this life, is really a life of sacrifice. Carrying, the burden of even 1,000 people for the sake of, liberating Heavenly Parent and really building a world that Heavenly Parents desires. That's why this is the course of our life, brothers and sisters. We have a very clear model, our beloved true parents. That's why no matter what, we have to accomplish what is needed from us. So Father said, we put our hopes centering on heaven. Some people live with hope while others live without hope. We can divide people's hope and aspiration into two general types. That centered on human beings and that centered on heaven. A newborn infant thinks that his mother's bosom is the most wonderful place in the world. At a certain point in its development, however, the child leaves its mother's bosom. As the child grows, he or she forms friendships, feeling himself happiest when he is with his friends. Eventually, though, the young person will leave his friends behind. During our life course, we come to discover that neither loving parents, nor a loving spouse, nor even loving children can completely satisfy our hopes. So Father, explain here, there are also two, kinds of aspiration, or it is also divided in two. The first one is centered on human beings, with relationships, with our parents, with our friends, with our peers. And then the second one, centered on heaven. Like Father is explaining here, the newborn infant, everything for him is mother's bosom. As long as he is with his mother, drinking milk and being embraced by the mother, like that's already the kingdom of heaven. But as he grows, then different. Also, the hopes and aspirations change. But Father is saying here at the end, during our life course, we come to discover that neither loving parents, nor our loving spouse, nor even loving children can completely satisfy our hopes. So, human relationships, this will not completely satisfy our hopes, Father said. So, Father said, when people face death, all their hopes fades away. People have many lands of hopes. Eventually, all these hopes pass away. We have hopes for our family, hopes for our country, and hopes for the world. But the reality is that as we grow older, our hope grows weaker. Some people boast that their hope represents the hope of all humankind, but find they lack the conviction to pursue it at the sacrifice of their life. People fervently entertain many hopes during the course of their life. But when they face death, they abandon all their hopes. They desire to stay alive one more day. Day after day, they wander in search of something new in which to place their hope. When they finally face death, though, all their hope fades away and they fall into despair as they set out on their final path. We know all too well that this is true. That's why, even though we are filled with hopes while we are alive, with our families, even we are saying for humankind, but we actually lack conviction to pursue it, Father said. And then at the time of our death, actually, when we really are ignorant of the value, the importance of life, and then when the time of our death comes, Father said, all hopes fades away. Many people live life like this. They are filled with so much hope, right? But when their death comes, all these hopes fades away, and then they desire to stay alive one more day. So this is their desire because of ignorance, right? What is really the purpose of our life? This is really very important. And then even when we are saying that we are, like Father said, saying here that we even boast we are living for humankind, but we lack the conviction to pursue it. Because when we have this conviction, actually, we never fear death. Even when death comes, we continue to pursue, even at the cost of our lives. We can see this from true parents, right? That's why when they say, this is for heavenly parent, for humankind, and then putting all their conviction, no matter what, even at the cost of their lives. So we need to inherit this so that our hope will live on. Our hope will be placed centering on heaven, not only in this physical world, not only with the relationships in this world, but even beyond death. Our hope should live on, right? Until the day that heavenly parent can be liberated, until the day that humankind can be liberated. We are willing to sacrifice our families, whatever we have, even our very life. Aju? So many people, at the beginning, they are filled with hope. But, as we grow older, Father said, these hopes, lessen our determination. We don't have this enough until we sacrifice our life. That's why actually we can learn from true parents. Even, at the cost of our life, we have to march forward until these hopes can be realized. Aju? So that shouldn't stop us. We have to move forward even at the cost of our lives. So Father said, there is no individual hopes that lives beyond death. Viewed as an individual, it may appear that a person possesses worthy aspirations, but no individual hopes live beyond death. In my view, it is important for all people on earth today to give serious consideration to one question. How can we find hope that will not collapse in front of death, but will transcend it? So this is important. Father is telling us we need to give serious consideration on this. What is that, hope that will not collapse even in front of death? Father said, all things of this world will pass away. Our families, nations, and even the world itself will pass away. Ideologies and philosophies will pass away. What is it that remains? Whatever remains, that is the hope that can defeat death. So we, as unificationists, people who follows true parents, we know already that that is not the end, right? Father said eternity begins when we started to learn God's will. So actually, while we are living physically, in the same way, we are living spiritually. We are living for eternity. That's why what we are doing, what we are working for, this is beyond our physical existence, right? That's why whether we live or die, it doesn't matter. What's more important for us is to accomplish heaven's will, true parents' desire, right? So it goes beyond death. That's why Father is saying here, we need to seriously consider this question, what can go beyond death? This is our determination. This is the true hope that all humanity should inherit from our beloved true parents, right? That all of us who are following true parents now. That's why death cannot stop us, even at the cost of our life. That's why True Mother is always telling us,
put your life on the line. That is not the priority. The priority is to accomplish God's will. Whether you sacrifice your life, when it needs to sacrifice your life, you have to sacrifice your life happily, right? That we could leave legacy for the next generations. That's most important even than our life. Aju? That's why we cannot just live centering on our own life, our own families, with all these human relations that we have now, right? But most importantly, how to accomplish heaven's will, true parents' will, even at the cost of our life. Aju? Aju. So Father said, we have to embrace aspirations not of the human world, but of heaven. We can consider a person who does not possess such a hope or aspiration to be defeated in life. There are people who, from the time they are born, reject all hopes and aspirations of the secular world. These people embrace aspirations not of the human world, but of heaven, hopes that are eternal. Heaven helps these people. A life of faith does not embrace any aspiration that exists on earth. Instead, it embraces the hopes that surpass even the gates of death. It dreams of the world of eternal hope. So what Father is saying, ano sinasabi ni Father dito? People who embrace aspirations not the human world, not of the human world, but of heaven, and hopes that are eternal. Heaven helps and embrace this kind of people. That's why if all of us has this kind of aspiration beyond death, if our life is needed to sacrifice, we need to sacrifice. We have to sacrifice our life. Then Father said, heaven helps these people. That's why our true parents, can you imagine the course the true parents have gone through? Father was tortured so much unimaginable. Actually, Father even lived for 93 years. Can you imagine the physical torture that our true parents have gone through? How much Heavenly Parent protected true parents? Our true mother now. Then we could see when we study true parents' life, how many times, really God guided and embraced true parents, even in the, unimaginable situations. That's why if we follow the same path, if we go through the same path as our true parents, knowing our priority in life, that we are born solely for Heavenly Parent, for Heavenly Parent's glory, to build kingdom of heaven on earth, heaven will help us. Heaven will embrace us, right? We don't need to worry about all these things, even our death. Heaven will embrace us. Heaven will help us. We will be victorious like true parents. Aju? Aju. So Father said, we will all die and go to spiritual world. This is certain. This is the only certain in this world. We will all die. Even how many vitamins you are drinking now, taking, even you are, taking all the best things in the world, one day we will all die. We will all go to the spiritual world. Someday, Father said, I too will die. When we are young, we don't think much about that. But we become increasingly serious about that as we grow older. This is because death is a gate through which we are inevitably destined to pass. But what happens to us after we die? Do you know why I am talking about that? I talk about that in order to teach the meaning of life. That's why people actually cannot understand what life is without understanding death. This cannot be separated. Actually, they are coming together. Life can be meaningful. Life can be understood fully if we first understand about death. So Father said, who really knows the value of life? It is not the person who is going all out to preserve his life. The only person who really knows about life is the one who goes into the valley of death. He confirms the meaning of life as he desperately cries out to heaven at the crossroads of life and death. So Father is saying here very clearly, a person who wanted to preserve his life is actually ignorant. He is the person who doesn't know what is life? What is the meaning of life? Who is the person who really knows about life? Father said, he is the person who goes into the valley of death. And he confirms the meaning of life as he desperately cries out to heaven at the crossroads of life and death. Even in the Bible, it was clearly mentioned, right? Those who want to preserve their life, will, lose it. Those who, willingly sacrifice their life can gain it. Very clear, actually. But people nowadays, they just wanted to live comfortable life. They avoid, sacrificing for other people. They just want to focus on their own. That's why these people, they don't know the value of life, right? People who really knows is the one always pushing forward, even at the cost of one's life. Always, Father said, desperately cries out to heaven at the crossroads of life and death. This is the life of true parents. Exactly. This is also the path we are going through, right? That's why even at the cost of our life, as long as we can accomplish something in accordance to heaven's will, in accordance to true parents' desire, even at the cost of our life, what is the value of our life without completing our mission? That's why our mission is even more important than our life, right? That's why without accomplishing our mission, like actually better go to the spiritual world. What is the meaning of living your life without fulfilling what is being asked, what is being desired by heavenly parents from us, right? That's why our life is given. This is a mission we need to accomplish. The basic. Now we are very clear already. When we talk about portion of responsibility in the past, it's not so clear, right? When we talk about portion of responsibility now, 5%, it's very clear. You need to enter Chonbuwon. You need to liberate 430 generations of your ancestors. They will become your spiritual children. You will become the ancestor when you go to the spiritual world. And then, on earth, you need to bless at least 430 generations, right? Then you become ancestor. And then this will continue. 430 you bless, their descendants continue, right? That's why this is the mission, our 5%. But even we fulfill this, it will never end here until the day we can liberate all humanity, right? That's why this is the minimum mission that we need to do. So actually, it's very clear. This is the purpose of our life. That's why we have to do this even at the risk, at the cost of our life, no matter what. This is the minimum so that we will never regret when we go to the spiritual world, so that our children, our descendants will not accuse us. We live in the time of true parents, but we didn't accomplish the basic things that we need to accomplish, right? So no matter what, all of us, with all the foundations that was laid, with the sacrifices of true parents, they opened the way for all people to enter kingdom of heaven, for people to really be reborn and become citizens of Channel Group. So first time in October 10, True Mother, opened the way and really welcome citizens of Channel Group, our Chonbu couples. That's why now we need to multiply. Everybody needs to become Chonbo families, no matter what, even at the cost of our life. That's why our priority in our life, in our existence now, is to fulfill this no matter what, and accomplish heaven's desire, true parents' desire, no matter what. Brothers and sisters, this is the main purpose why we are here, right? So let's really take advantage with the foundations and then with the time that we are living in now. Since all of us will be going to the spiritual world, but we cannot go there without fulfilling our mission, our responsibility. Adieu, adieu. So Father said, why do people fear death? Why do people fear death? It is because they do not know the purpose for which we are born. Those who do not know why we are born do not know why we die. Therefore, the first questions philosophers ask are, what is life? Why are we born? If we think about it, we realize that when we die, we are reborn into the midst of God's love. But in the human world, people cry out, oh no, I'm going to die. What am I to do? They make a big fuss. Do you think that God laughs, ho ho ho, when we die? Or do you think God cries out, oh no, and is overwhelmed with sorrow? The truth is, he is happy. This is because the moment of the physical body's death is the moment we experience the joy of living the finite realm of love in order to enter the infinite realm of love. It is the moment of our second birth. Actually, this is interesting. Father said, when we die, is God, of course, our relatives, outside people, other people, when we see them, when someone dies, wow, really like heaven and earth collapse, right? They all very sad, they need to mourn, and then they need to, very difficult for someone who passed away. But actually, in the case of Heavenly Parent, Father is asking, when someone, go to the spiritual world, will Heavenly Parent cries out and really, in deep sorrow, or he is happy? Father said here, the truth is, Heavenly Parent is happy. When we fulfill our mission and responsibility, we pass on to the spiritual world. Actually, that is our second birth, Father said. Leaving the finite realm of love and then entering the infinite realm and ending. So also our happiness there will be unending. That is the most important in our life when we go to the spiritual world, our second birth. That's why we really need to do well, so that when the time comes for us, Heavenly Parents will rejoice, our ancestors will rejoice, right? When you liberate your 430 generations, and then because also collateral things we are doing, many actually, not only 430 generations of our ancestors, many we are really, grand welcome. Can you imagine when someone, someone important person arrives, we prepare well in the physical world. Can you imagine that kind of feeling, how that person welcomed? Can you imagine when we go to the spiritual world? We became victorious. We became Chonbo families. We fulfilled our mission, right? When we go to the spiritual world, grand welcome will surely happen, right? And then everybody is very happy. Heavenly Parent is very happy. Like what Father is saying, sabi ni Father, when I go to the spiritual world, anong gusto niya na scene? That when Heavenly Parent heard, sabi niya, that's why when through Father, go to the spiritual world, sabi niya, even though Heavenly Parent is sitting on His throne, Heavenly Parent will come down, and run after. Very excited. This kind of scenario also we need to think about, right? When we go to the spiritual world, Heavenly Parent actually will be very happy. We will be entering the eternal realm. That's why this scenario will going to happen if we fulfill our responsibility. We become victorious, Heavenly Parents' children. Aju, that's why actually, why we fear death. Understanding this, actually, death is an exciting moment of our life. That's the time entering this temporary realm and going to the eternal realm and living forever, for eternity with our Heavenly Parent. Aju, can you imagine? That's why this scenario, this happening in our life, this is most joyous. Not only for us, but for our Heavenly Parent. Aju? Aju. So Father said, God is happier at our second birth. Then is God happier on the day we are born into the physical world, or at that moment we leave our physical body behind? At that moment, we are born a second time into the realm of the infinite expansion of love. We become His new children through death. Of course, God is happier at the second birth. I am telling you this because you need to know that you cannot have a relationship with God unless you are released from the fear of death. That's why even though we are alive, Father said, if we, keeping this, we are afraid of dying physically, we cannot have relationship with Heavenly Parent, Father said. That's why Father said, eternity begins not when we die. Already now, we know God's will, we know true parents, we know Heavenly Parents. Already we are living for eternity. When our time comes, it's just naturally we are leaving our physical body behind and then moving to the eternal world. And then we continue what we are doing until the day we build kingdom of heaven. That's why, can you imagine if we cannot build kingdom of heaven while we are alive? We just, leave our physical body, go to the spiritual world, continue to work. Now our ancestors, we liberated them. Where are they? They are here with us. They are more excited than us. They want to build kingdom of heaven as soon as possible. That's why sometimes they don't want us to always sleep. Maybe when you sleep all the time, they want to wake you up. You need to work, we want to do something through you. We cannot do anything, right? That's why if we cannot fulfill our mission, we pass on to the spiritual world. What happens? We need to come down, we need to go back, and we need to continue again. And then we know how difficult that is, right? Can you imagine people with physical body, very hard-headed? Even already they learn the principle, they know already what we need to do. It's still very difficult. Can you imagine when you pass on without fulfilling your mission? You need to look for your descendants. Who is the right one? I will choose. I will ask him. Can you imagine? It will be prolonged and prolonged and prolonged. That's why no matter what in our life today, we have to fulfill our mission no matter what. We have to complete so that, we don't need to come back again anymore. Once you fulfill that, then you leave something great for your descendants, for your children, for your children's children. That's why no matter what, our mission is absolute. This is beyond that. The fulfillment of this is more important than our life. Even we sacrifice our life through fulfilling this. This is more valuable than, living comfortable life, but without fulfilling the main mission that was given to us, right? That's why no matter what, Heavenly Parents will be happier when we go there, especially when we fulfill our mission, our responsibility. That's why now this 7-year course that came, this is to fast track our rally of hope, to fast track our fulfillment of this dream and desire and our purpose and mission in life. That's why now we will be having the rally of hope tomorrow. After that, what is next for us? That's why I really encourage my beloved Blessed Central families, brothers and sisters. We have to continue this kind of spirit. Let's work together wherever you are in any part of the world. Let's continue this. This is not only for rally of hope. Let's continue to contribute by our prayer, by our jongsong, whatever we have, even our donations continuously. We need to do this. Even I'm discussing with Sir Julius, maybe even every month we encourage, we beg our brothers and sisters, please continue what we have started now through this rally of hope. Our nation depends on us. Let's continue what we can contribute, right? Let's continue. If we, stop after rally of hope, what will going to happen? It will prolong again, right? That's why this time now is very, very important. We need to really have one mind, one heart, willing to sacrifice everything that we have for the sake of fulfilling Heavenly Parents' dream and desire, for the sake of really making this nation. We are the owners of this nation, right? So whatever we can contribute, let's continue. Let's give everything that we can and fulfill our mission together and really bring joy and happiness to Heavenly Parents and true parents. Aju, that's why this blessing and opportunity will never come again. Aju, this only comes now. That's why no matter what, let's work together continuously, even work harder than during this time of Rally of Hope, after this. So I invite everybody for our victory celebration on Sunday. Our Sunday service will be like victory celebration. We'll be hearing some sharing also from our leaders, some reflections, and then we're going to offer this victory together and gather our resolve and determination more and more. The thing that we have done now, how we contribute together, we need to surpass that after this rally of hope. Aju, we are truly the hope of Heavenly Parents and true parents. Our nation is really the hope. That's why this event, not only for Philippines, this is to really open the way for Asia and for the world. Can you imagine, always we inspire other nations. We are contributing really greatly. And then through this, we can contribute to True Mother for the reunification of North and South Korea. And then for the establishment of Heavenly World. I really offer my gratitude to all our Blessed Central families, brothers and sisters. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your hard work, for your love to Heavenly Parents, for your love to true parents, for your love to our nation, and to all people of our nation. So I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wish you all the best. God bless you all, and kamsahamnida. Thank you very much.
Yes, kamsahamnida. Let us give a hand to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. To our beloved national leader, Reverend Lay Angelo Halog, for that great message this morning. Truly, it is a great message. Aju, really, I cannot say anything like, really, we need to do our utmost best this time. I'm sorry. I just want to say thank you for all the hard works of all our brothers and sisters in the front line, and all our leaders, especially to our Sir Julius and our national leader, Sir Rafi, and all these families are really working so hard in the front line. Let's give ourselves a big hand. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let's proceed now to our reflection. For our reflection, let me call our elders. First, let's invite from representative from Japan, our blessed families in Japan. Is there anyone who wants to volunteer? So allow me to call our elder brother, Sir William Enriquez, Balboa Enriquez, with our virtual applause. Please unmute.
Okay. Is there a sound now?
Yes, Pa. Yes,
Good
Pa.
evening. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for the message of our national leader, Reverend L.A. Truly, we're so grateful that our true parents and heavenly parents continue to educate us until this time. And I'm so much, this is my fourth day of listening to the morning devotion, and really we are learning a lot. And truly grateful also to see our brothers and sisters participating. Actually, I enjoy the last moment every time I see the faces of our brothers and sisters. So very inspiring. Anyway, all I can share is that, we have to continue to attend to our heavenly parents and true parents because there are so many things to be done. So many things. And we have to always remember that we are heavenly soldiers, no? And we are in the fight. We are on the fight. And we have to really be strong and have that positive energy within us when we go to the mission. The positive energy of love, it is our weapon, no? To melt the hearts of the people outside. By love, if all of us can really have that energy always when we go to our mission, slowly by slowly we can influence the world. We can influence the hearts of the people. Sabi nga sa kanta, no? We're just like, we have to think that people have the heart, and their hearts can only be moved by love, because it is in the heart that love resides. So we have to always keep that within our hearts, the loving attitude towards people. And anyway, even if I talk so much, it is better to let everyone can experience really. It is through experience only that we can understand even how much we understand the words about true parents, unless we put it or we go to the front line. Actually, it is the time that the words about true parents become so precious, and we can feel when you go to the mission. There you will understand what we are learning from the words about true parents. So by just learning, not enough. We have to go out to the front line and do the mission. And there you can understand what you learn by heart. And then by understanding it with your heart, it will just give positive energy to the people you meet. No? When the heart touches the heart, there is positive energy that can build up and make relationship to become better, stronger, and deeper. So let's do it. No, let's do our mission by the way of the heart. No, because love comes from the heart. So let's do our mission by doing it by the way of the heart. Okay, thank you very much. And actually, I have so many things to share, but maybe I cannot. If I have time or I can share many things, but maybe for this time, that will be enough. Thank you so much. And my wife is here with me, Shoko. Uh, anyway, he is limited in English, but maybe she can share something. Scusi daki. Aisats.
Good morning, everyone, everybody. Thank you so much.
Aisats daki. Okay. Anyway, she's limited in speaking Japanese, but she was able to do mission also in Cebu, but not so long. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much for our elder Best family in Japan. Once again, let's give them our virtual applause. Thank you po. Now let's welcome from representative from Korea. May I call our um, Tita Elna Coronado from Korea with our virtual applause. Welcome po. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much, NL, to Ate Shirley and Kuya Jimmy, to all the leaders who are working hard. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your hard work, Philippines, all our brothers and sisters there. Bring success to our event tomorrow for Rally of Hope. And also whatever the difficulties of our brothers and sisters there, we really feel the pain to all the members, whatever the suffering, the difficulties financially, it's really painful how to help everyone. So it's really sad we cannot contribute to all of you, but I'm grateful to Heavenly Parents because we overcome all of this our difficulties through sincere devotion, continues our fighting for the sake of Heavenly Parents' will in our country. So we hope and pray that we can be able to complete restoration to our country, Philippines. And thank you to all our brothers and sisters, especially to Dr. Kittel. So even though I am not familiar for him, we're very thankful to him and also his wife, and also to the president of YLT, Rene Lansangan, and uh, to Ritz Halipa, to Francis Lawrence Nolasco. So those leaders who are not familiar for me. So I hope for the success of our Rally of Hope. And to all of you, we hope we can overcome all our difficulties and struggles in our life of faith for the sake of True Parents' vision in our country and the world. Thank you so much, and kamsahamnida to all of you there. Ingat po kayo dyan. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much po, Tita Elna, for sharing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, let's welcome to share. May I call on our Sir Richard Halipa. Sir Richard, good morning po.
Good morning po. Good morning to our Heavenly Parents, your parents, and especially to our national leader, Reverend LA. And of course to our elders, yung ancestors po ng ating movement, to all the elders who really laid foundation. We're truly grateful. Sa lahat po sa inyo, you were the ones who really stood up and I may say, like, took the responsibility, in the early days, despite the very difficult situations, we cannot compare po yung aming course ngayon. I think we are more fortunate today than you. You join in a time of history when our movement were persecuted, and we don't have much foundation, and really complete sacrifice were required of you. You have to even leave your studies. You have to even stop and leave the families, and really complete sacrifice and persecuted by your families. So I think all of this, because of your love for True Parents, I believe that how to offer our gratitude to you. If we meet you, we want to offer our really full bow to you, kasi po kayo talaga yung naglay ng foundation. Even though we are going through difficulties today, but compared to your circumstances that time, our circumstances today is nothing. Ngayon, pag nakita namin yung building ngayon, they're really huge. But in the early days, halos walang building, and we're renting houses, something ganon, and we have barely food to eat. So I hope that through our hard works po, ma-comfort kayo, mga elders natin. So we know that hindi po enough, even though we're working hard, but we know it's not enough. Kasi, even though we're working hard today, at least our food is much better than yours. I know in the early days, yung pagkain, yung ulam, minsan hindi mo na maintindihan yung menu kasi, galing food racing man. So I'm really lucky na naabutan ko pa po yung tradition na ganun na food racing. I hope that our young generation today could be able to inherit the same heart. And yes, malapit na po talaga yung Chonilguk. Actually, Chonilguk is already 8 years now. So I mean, like, really national restoration is already at the peak na. Konti-konti na lang po. And then, of course, we're sharing together also with our leaders, our national leader, Reverend LA, and also together with our Reverend Julius, and of course with other elders and leaders, Kuya Rene, and other key leaders, Kuya Jimmy. And yes, with our determination together, sabi nga ni national leader po natin, dapat tuloy-tuloy po ito. Sana hindi po kasi masayang po kasi yung tinanim natin sa Rally of Hope. Ang ganda na po ng momentum. So pag hindi po natin, yung tinanim po natin sa Rally of Hope, pag hindi po natin na-cultivate, na-diligan, so hindi po siya magpa-prosper talaga. So I hope that we can all truly unite. We can all truly determine even more. Sabi ko nga kay national leader, we will completely unite with you. and then let's march forward together. And yes, we will sacrifice even more. And then even our second generation, we hope that together we can inherit the tradition. And yes, we have to sacrifice even more, to match the level of sacrifices ng mga ating mga elders. So maraming salamat po sa ating mga elders. We really respect you and we really bow to you. Salamat po, kayo po yung really, you're the one who really laid the foundation to unite with our true parents. So we will do our best po. Salamat po.
Thank you so much, Sir Richel. Let's give our virtual applause to our Sir Richel. Thank you so much po. Yeah, it is true that without the sacrifices and hard work of our elders, our blessed families who really dedicate their life, we cannot also imagine our life this time. We are truly grateful that we have all this foundation because of all your sacrifices, and we will also do our best to fulfill also our responsibility. Thank you so much po. Let's call one more. Is there anyone who wants to volunteer? So let me call Sir Rene. Wow. Let's welcome our Sir Rene Lansangan. Let's welcome po.
Thank you so much. Kamsahamnida, Heavenly Parent and True Parents, to our national leader for this great message, very timely for us as in the front line. I want to, because we are shocked yesterday because of the passing of our brother, Roland Daguhoy. He went to Bohol to re-pioneer carp in 2015. So that's why I'm very close to him, because we and Dr. Yong sent him in the Bohol for re-pioneering. So because of this, now Bohol is now more stable in terms of youth providence, CARP, YSP, Tongilmodo, and of course the Family Federation, Women's Federation, and UPF. So I realized that life is too short, so we need to prepare well. And I want to share also that in our experience in mobilization, especially in youth, IYSP, napaka-smooth, napakaganda ng response kahit sa national pa, even yung National Youth Commissions, talagang ang tingin nila sa atin, mas magaling pa tayo kaysa sa kanila. Although we're very limited, logistics, financial, and also yung power, kasi sila, nasa government sila eh. So, but they're the one asking us to make us MOU with them. Yung mga SK Federations, LYDO, kami na yung nagsusurrender kasi natatakot kami ng responsibility na baka hindi natin makayanan. So, ang ginawa namin is we need to screen, identify yung mga important cities or provinces na we can work after Rally of Hope. It is really true that according to our national leader, we need to plan what's next. So that's why we are done with the MOU with especially in National Youth Commission, and we focus more on the pure love education. Yun ang pinag-content ng MOU natin. Of course, we will revive the victory over communism, yung kausa. Kasi very timing ngayon, yun ang fight ng government against insurgencies. So, pero hindi man pili tayong lumaban na hindi tayo handa at wala tayong alliance. That's why through NYC, collaboration and partnership, so kailangan i-prepare natin ang ating sarili at saka yung ating organization sa ganitong great battle. As well as yung 1 billion trees planting and growing project. So ito, dapat tuloy-tuloy po ito, hindi lang for the sake of launching. I want to report that now mayroon na tayong 7 LGUs that they are expressing to make a partnership and collaboration with us. Mayroon sa Cagayan, mayroon sa Tanay, nag-o-offer na sila ng kanilang mga bundok. Sa Pangasinan, sa Lingayen, nag-offer na si Mayor Batawil ng bundok daang kalikasan saka 1 million seedlings. Mayroon din nag-o-offer ng bundok nila sa Cebu. At saka yung free seedlings ng Department of Agriculture. Meron din doon sa Orquita sa Mindanao. At dito rin sa Antipolo, nag-offer din ang mayor. Sa Bataan, gusto din nila mangrove planting. So, ang daming ang very positive at saka overwhelming. Ang problema lang tayo, kaya ba natin but we believe that through our unity, with the support of our ancestors and the spiritual, as well as brothers and sisters, blessed central families, moral support, kahit tayo, with or without finance, nakakagalaw tayo. Pero ang gusto natin mangyari is maging sustainable. Hindi ito one time, big time. Kaya ngayon we empower our younger generations to take the lead, to take ownership, especially our second generation, at ina-assign natin silang maging YSP officers. So as of now, we have 20 chapters nationwide. Pero mayroon ang laki-laki ng Pilipinas, we have 81 provinces. So paano natin yan? Kasi ang goal natin is to offer our country. That's why dapat walang maiwan. We need to reach out even the home members, working members, yung mga second generation. So I'm asking them, I'm calling them, please volunteer yourselves kasi lahat hindi namin kayo kilala, especially sa province, sa region. Offer yourselves na kahit 1 year or 2 years na mag-take ownership sa inyong mga chapters, sa inyong mga region. Para nang sa ganon, habang nandito pa kami, ay still mabigyan namin kayo ng opportunity to work in the province. So, don't worry, National Leader, and our brothers and sisters, our elders, ito po ay offering namin sa inyo. Ayaw namin masayang ang lahat ng mga pinaghihirapan nyo. At sa aming makakaya, gagawin po namin ang lahat para sa ating bansa at to parents. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sir Rene. Let's give our virtual applause to our Sir Rene. That's really the hope of our nation is our youth, our power youth. Thank you so much po for the final word. Yeah, let us welcome our national leader, Reverend Angela Halog.
Thank you very much, our Sister Yab. Thank you very much po to all our elders who have shared very inspiring sharing. Si Napia William and his wife, thank you very much po. Si Ate Elna, thank you for your very moving sharing, Ate. Or Sir Richel and Sir Rene. Maraming salamat po. So really, we are living in really different era of channel group. When we talk about Kingdom of Heaven po, this is actually a world of heart. Kaya we need our families, we need to make our families really Kingdom of Heaven. Our society, mga centers po natin. We need to really make our centers really Kingdom of Heaven. We need to reach po yung level that just the moment we look at each other, we already know how someone feels. No need to, say a word. This is what C.P. William is talking about po. Really, the world we are creating is really a world of heart. That's why all the experiences that we have now, why we mingle with many people, for us to really develop po talaga ang heart natin. That's why this time, this era po, of course, we have done a lot of witnessing in the past, pero ngayon ang witnessing, iba na po talaga ang witnessing now eh. We need to create that atmosphere that naturally people will come. Kaya yung mga centers po natin, pamilya po natin, kaya talaga relationship, husband and wife, parents and children, Kingdom of Heaven po dapat talaga nag-expand na now continuously with our own families, with our centers, with our community. Kaya we are also doing our best in our headquarters. I'm really grateful with all our staff. We are always discussing that we need to make our HQ also like Kingdom of Heaven, so that anyone who comes here, even not members, when they feel, this place is really different, naturally people will come. Naturally, people will come to us. That's why we really need to create this kind of world, this kind of atmosphere, and really world of heart will going to exist, and then people will just naturally come. Anyway, thank you once again for all our elders with all your sacrifices. Yun po, now we are marching forward together. First generation, second generation, even third generation now. I think with this unity that we have, and then with Heavenly Parents and True Parents, True Mother with us on earth, for sure we can really build that world that Heavenly Parents and True Parents and all of us are really longing for. Yun po, we are really so blessed and really fortunate people living in this time. Adyo po. So no matter what, we will all be victorious. Thank you once again. Thank you very much po. So this time I would like to offer a prayer. Also, let's pray for our brother, Roland, so he can be received and be able also to later on. I pray that he will be blessed also later, that he can come down to us and really work together with us, help us in building Channel Book in our country and in the world. So please join me in prayer. Our most precious, loving Heavenly Parent, loving True Parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind, today, the 24th day of the 12th month in the 8th year of Channel Book, we come together in this precious day, precious morning, together with all beloved Blood Central families and brothers and sisters, centering upon our beloved True Parents, centering upon you, Heavenly Parents, our True Mother on earth, and billions of absolute good spirits together with us who are really working hand in hand, Heavenly Parents, to realize your dream, to realize your original ideal since the beginning of time. We are truly honored, really grateful for allowing us, choosing us, Heavenly Parents, to be part of this most important time in human history. We really determine and really strive every day to be able to accomplish your expectation with all brothers and sisters who are continuously sacrificing. Please, Heavenly Parents, be with all the central families continuously, brothers and sisters, that no matter what, we're going to overcome any situation and truly become victorious like our beloved True Parents. Heavenly Parents, today is the last day before our historic 1 million rally of hope. All brothers and sisters in every corner of this nation, every corner of the world are now contributing greatly, Heavenly Parents, for the success of this event. We really pray that this event can really open the way, Heavenly Parents, for the restoration of the Korean Peninsula and for the restoration of the whole world. Our True Mother desires that in her lifetime, Heavenly Parents, at least restore 1/3 of the world population, Heavenly Parents, and based on that foundation, bringing all your children, all the 7.8 billion people of the world back to you. Heavenly Parents, we would like to support fully our beloved True Mother and really invest everything that we can in this time and truly realize your dream. Heavenly Parents, also yesterday, we would like to pray for our beloved brother, Roland Ryan Daguhoy. We were all shocked with his sudden passing, Heavenly Parents, but today we would like to really pray that you can receive him, Heavenly Parents, with all his contribution in the providence, especially in the youth, Heavenly Parents. I really pray that all these things can be received by you, Heavenly Parents, that this can really become also a great foundation for now, for us to harvest, Heavenly Parents, and truly raise up our young people to truly become the future, not only for our nation, but for the world. Please receive our beloved brother, Roland Ryan Daguhoy, with his sacrifices, Heavenly Parents. Please receive him as also the condition for us to bring glory and victory to you in this coming rally of hope. I really pray that
the grace and love of our beloved true parents. One day he can receive the blessing in the spiritual world, heavenly parents, and he can truly build a family and really come down to us and really work together with us. That together we can really build the heavenly unified world and really build your kingdom here on earth. So please, heavenly parents, receive him, his sacrifice, heavenly parents, that will become condition for our nation to really become channel group. Thank you for giving him to us, even though very short time, heavenly parents, but with all his sacrifices and really determination, his loyal and filial heart to you, heavenly parents, this can really create greater foundation for us to really build the heavenly unified world. Thank you once again for everything. Please bless his family, his parents, his brothers and sisters. I really pray that his descendants can one day really receive your tremendous grace and blessing with his sacrifice. Together, we will offer our gratitude to him. Heavenly parents, so please receive him. That together, we will going to accomplish your dream and your desire and truly build really one world, Heavenly parents, where all people can truly live in joy and in happiness, centering on you and our beloved true parents. Thank you so much once again. Please continue to bless all our blessed families and brothers and sisters. And really, we're going to continue until the day, Heavenly Parents, that we can completely liberate you and liberate all humanity and really offer our nation to really become a nation of channel group. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, Heavenly Parents, and together with all my precious brothers and sisters, all of the central families, we would like to offer the parties in our names. Leo Angelo and tayo hawag na central family. Adieu.
Let us offer our unison prayer. Let's offer our morning greetings. Good morning, heavenly parents and true parents. Good morning, Sir L.A., and good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for joining our morning devotion today. Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning to
And to all
everyone.
who share, please
Kamsahamnida.
for sharing.
Good morning sa lahat.
Salamat po.
Morning,
Sa harap
Philippines.